Okay, here we are at data.interzoid.com that you can go to on the web. And we are working with Interzoid's interactive data client that retrieves customized, self-defined external data with global coverage based on your needs. Today we're going to be looking at retrieving competitive information about a given organization that will help you with your research. And generally this tool is used for real-time data enrichment, not just interactively, but also in batch mode. If you want the same information, for example, about 50 or 100 companies, you can just run it and retrieve it in each case pretty easily by going to, and you'll see how we do this when we create a configuration, but then we'll go to the batch mode and be able to run that. And of course, doing this type of data enrichment, there's a lot of different types of data sets. You can take one of the existing data sets, for example, that you see here. Here are some different categories, and then you can modify them, add to them, create them from scratch based on whatever your specific needs are. And that's what we're going to show. First, how to get this data interactively, and then we'll save that configuration and use it in batch mode like I just showed. And then we can even generate an API that runs in the Interzoid's cloud based on your data specifications that you can then use to integrate wherever you want, such as in a web form. Every time a new opportunity comes in, for example, you can call that API and get the data that you've described here and add it before it goes into your CRM system or whatever it is that you're doing with it. And you can hit multiple data sets as well, have multiple APIs running. So there's a lot of flexibility in terms of what you can do with the data that you're getting. So as I mentioned, let's just load one of these sample configurations. And let's go to business and finance. We'll go to competitor analysis, for example. And you'll see that it brings up, the way this tool works is you take a topic, which is just a basic way to describe the type of data you're looking for. So the agent behind the scenes knows what kind of data that it's looking for. And then you add the output parameters that you want. And of course you can delete them, you can add new ones, you can modify them. It's going to take whatever you put here and use that as the basis for the data that it's going to go out and get and then provide. And of course, before you do all this, you do need an API key. And you can go here, get an API key. There's a trial key. You'll get trial credits available from interzoid.com. Pretty easy, just register with your email address. And then you'll have your trial credits, and then you can try it. It's how we track your usage. So then if you move on to a paid plan, that will trigger the billing behind it. So here we're set. We even have our lookup value. There's some different models that you can try. We use some different AI models behind the scenes to help us organize this data before we send it back, and that can change some of your results as well. And then of course you'll click here and run. And since we're all set up, that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. We're going to get this information based on this topic, which is going to instruct our agent, and we're going to do it for a lookup value of OpenAI. So all I need to do is click run, and it's retrieving the data. Okay, I'll scroll down, and you can see it kind of just put to text the information that it got. So you can just copy that text if you want, or you can look at it in pretty view mode, which gives you the top 3 competitors: Google DeepMind Gemini, Anthropic Claude, XAI. Market share estimates are given here, some key differentiators, first mover advantage in consumer AI, and so forth, pricing strategy, target audience, and so forth. So this is the data that we're looking for as we described it here on the left. And then an important thing is, we can, even if we modify it, we can save this configuration, and then if you go to enrich.interzoid.com, you can take that configuration and run it against an entire input file. Maybe you've got 100 or 1,000 values, and you want this information for every single one of them at the click of a button. You can do that, And then here is the actual API call that uses this data, again, to pull this information back. And you'll see here that this is the endpoint. You put your API key here, the one that you've registered for up there. And if, to get that API key, you can just go to your account if you want to see what yours is after you register. The topic becomes a parameter. The lookup value, so in this case it was OpenAI, but this would be a variable likely. So for example, if you pulling every time a lead, for example, fills out a lead form on your website and you want this information as a basis of a future sales conversation, that would be the lookup value. You choose the model, and of course the output is simply described like this, with each of the columns that you're looking for, the fields in an array. And then you've got a live interactive endpoint that can be built into anything. And so that's the general idea. Again, if you want to try it out, go to data.interzoid.com. That data set, or this data set, along with many others, are available as starting points or templates to get basically any data that you can dream up that you want to get either interactively or in some integrated or batch way. Hopefully we're making it very easy for you to do that, and therefore get more ROI out of everything that makes use of your data assets. So it's a powerful way to get external data from anywhere in the globe, essentially for any lookup value. And if you'd like to try it out, come and visit us. Register at www.interzoid.com. And if you have any questions, you can contact us at support@interzoid.com. Thank you.